Can you hear me, Simone?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I've actually locked the meeting at 287 so that when we know Tony's ready to log in, I can unlock it, let him log in.
Okay.
And then we know we've got him on board.
Right. Okay. Yes, I just can't get hold of him.
The meeting at 287.
Yeah, I haven't got his mobile number. I've rung him and he's not answering on his main line, you know, but oh, that's annoying. I don't know where to go.
Simone, there's somebody, Lynn Parker's on board. She's saying she's got his mobile number.
Oh, can she give him a ring? Do you mind? And just tell him to log on quickly.
Yeah, Lynn, if you can hear me. Where are we? Somebody just said, I think it was Lynn. Yeah, Lynn Parker. Yes, if you ring him, Lynn, get him to log in quickly because then I can unlock it. Once I know he's going to log in, I'll unlock it so he can get in because he can't get in at the moment. But if he starts the login process, then I'll unlock it. We're also linked through to YouTube now so people can listen through YouTube and watch. But once I know he's trying to get in, then I can unlock it for him.
Stephen, shall I enable the waiting room and keep an eye on that?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, if you like. I've done that. I've enabled the waiting room now. If you keep an eye on that, Al, then once you see him there, let me know and I'll unlock it all.
Okay.
And all those people who are trying to log in now, you can't hear me, of course, because you can't log in, but I apologise for keeping you locked out. My thoughts are with you, even though you can't hear me. Whilst we're just waiting these next few minutes, I'll make one or two announcements. This week is actual Healing Awareness Week. So our healing service on Friday evening, starting at 6:30, is going to be a special one this week. Normally, it would have been open week at Stansted this week, and we would have been having special celebrations there for Healing Awareness Week. I think there's a message or something coming in there from somebody. Why are people locked out? Okay. That's very simple. People are locked out at the moment because we're waiting for Tony to log in. And if we hit the 300, which is our limit, before Tony has logged in, then we won't have Tony at all. Oh, he's ready, is he? Lynn, okay, fine. I'm going to unlock it then now. Lynn's saying, let him in. Meeting's unlocked. And hopefully, oh, there's Tony. I'll admit Tony. And then I can, once I've got Tony in, I'll admit everybody else. Good, got Tony now. Make him a co-host, I've got him for certain. Excellent. And admit all the rest. Oh, that's a relief. I was wondering how we were going to cope with that one if we hit the 300 before Tony arrived. It didn't cross my mind earlier. So yes, it's a Healing Awareness Week this week. On Sunday at 6:30 p.m, it's the SNUI Divine Service, which is open to everyone. Monday evening is the evening with the president of the SNU. I think Sorry, I'm just trying to do several things at once. Right. Unfortunately, I think there's a couple of people, these last ones, because we're at 300 now, Alf. I think the last one's just joining now, 300 participants. So we've just got him in time. And the rest will be on live on YouTube. So yes, Monday
people
evening.
are beginning to join.
Sorry?
People are beginning to join now, so they're getting through.
Good. So Monday evening is an audience with the president and a couple of special guests where you can put questions and listen to his views and thoughts, and particularly if you're from a church getting advice for this very difficult situation. Next week, certainly, where are we? On Wednesday evening, we have Minister Jackie Wright doing a talk about, I believe it is on mesmerism and how mesmerism has been used historically within the development of different aspects of mediumship. So that's a special talk next Wednesday. Each week, we've got several fixed events, which is Mondays, Fridays and Sundays. Monday, the President, Fridays, the healing service, and Sunday's the divine service. But in midweek, we're starting to now look to putting on a variety of events. And I know that the week after next, SNUI are putting on 2 open access lectures with Stella Upton. The first one's going to be on paranormal investigation, and followed the following evening by missing persons, how she uses mediumship searching for missing persons. And she has worked with the police in a number of different countries in that capacity. So she's going to be doing 2 lectures on successive evenings. And we've also now very pleased to announce that for the 20th of May, we've booked Matthew Smith, Minister Matthew Smith, who will be doing a special lecture, Being Secure in Your Sensitivity. So we've got a variety of events taking place, demonstrations, services, lectures over this coming month, and there are more still to be organised. So we welcome you all to join each and every one of them. They're all open access. In addition to that, should you be a member or wish to become a member of SNUI, then if you go to their tuition programme page on snui.org, you can see all of the different classes and lectures and demonstrations that normally take place every single week of the year. And they've been doing this for the last 11 years. That's not just a COVID-19 experience, but it's they're events that take place every week of the year on SNUI. So those of you who are becoming quite accustomed now to using Zoom for these lectures and demonstrations and our church services, I would strongly recommend you have a look at SNUI. Well, we're coming up to time now, and for us to officially start this evening's demonstration. My name is Minister Stephen Upton, and I welcome each and every one of you to this evening's Spiritualist National Union special demonstration of mediumship. It's a great pleasure for me to chair for you all this evening, in particular with 2 very good friends who I've worked with at the Arthur Findlay College, Minister Simon Key and Tony Stockwell, who is a certificate holder of the Spiritualist National Union. And although we've got Tony logged in, he'll be joining us shortly. But now it gives me great pleasure to welcome to our virtual platform, Minister Simon Key.
I hope everybody is well and keeping safe. Just see me. I just want to very quickly share with you how I work. The way I work is I hear information from a spirit person in the spirit world, and they tell me information to tell you. All I would like from you is just a response if you know who I'm talking about. You know, if the information is consistent with what you know about the individual in the spirit world, then please, please own up, you know, because we want to get as many messages through as possible to everybody out there. So as I begin, I'm aware of a gentleman who's joined us from the spirit world. He tells me his dad, and he'd like to talk to his daughter. He tells me that he shows himself to me around the age of 57, 58, that sort of age, which is not very old. And I know that he passed with a lung condition, and I know that at the end, their pneumonia set in, but I certainly feel that he'd been ill for 3 years up until that time. His illness was a very slow progression, but I feel this man was a really lovely man. I know that's easy to say, but he is. He's a nice, kind guy. He's very gentle. He likes to be busy. He likes to be involved with things. And he's somebody I know that at some time in his life, I know that he worked in a factory on maybe a production line, something like that. And also I know that way back in time, because I haven't seen these for a very long time, he showed me a packet of Waits cigarettes. I think I've got that name right. Players Waits, I think they were called. They're very cheap and very small. Does anybody understand that information, please? Is anyone talking to me?
No, Simon, I have to unmute them. We have electronic raising of hands. So the people that understand it will raise a hand, we've got someone now, Susan Hughes, and an Iris. We've got 2 people at the moment to understand it so far.
Thank
3
you.
people.
Thank you so much. I was just worried I was talking to myself.
I will monitor that for you.
Thank you.
We've got 4 now.
Okay, all right. So they can all accept that this was a dad who passed around the age of 57, who died of a chest condition. I know that he had a very serious cough for a long time.
You're down to 2 recipients.
Right, okay. And would one of you accept that this father was a man who was very, very gentle, very easygoing, but had to be involved in things? He's a planner. He likes to do things with his life.
You've still got the 2, and Nicola and Verpy.
Okay, let me see if I can sort this out. Okay, just bear with me a minute. The feeling I get from him is that he used to write a lot of lists. I can see him writing lists and lists of things that he needed to get, things that he needed to tick off.
You've still got the same 2,
okay.
Nicola and Verpy.
Okay.
Would you like to talk to one of them?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Nicola or Verpy, who do you feel you'd like to talk to?
I don't mind.
I'll unmute both of them then at this stage, so that Nicola and Verpy both can talk to you.
Okay. Because the feeling I get from this man was that he worked tirelessly for his family, but also for his neighbours and friends. This was a man who was very popular and highly regarded in his local area.
Yes, that would be true for me.
It really sounds like my dad, but he was over 60 when he died only a couple of years ago, though.
Sorry, my love. Can I just ask the first person that said yes, was your father under 60?
Yes, he was 58.
Right, thank you. I feel I'm with you. Can I just work with you just for a moment? But I'd like to just thank the other lady, please, for trying to help me here, okay? Because
yes, of course.
The feeling I get with your dad is one of compassion. He has great compassion for people.
Yes, he always did.
And I know that he was very hot, if you understand what I mean by that, on manners, courtesy,
yes,
treating people as one would want to be treated. That was what he would say.
He always had a lot of respect for people.
Yeah,
and he always felt his respect should always be given.
Yeah, sure. But what I'm saying is, when you were very small, he would have focused a lot on manners, courtesy, just being polite. That was important to him.
Yes, it was. Yes.
And I know with your father, and I do feel I am with you, because I feel his power is getting stronger, because even though I wouldn't say your father was an over powerful man, he's not,
No.
you wouldn't look at him and think he's a very strong man, but he has, deep within him, there is this incredible strength, this incredible determination that his family will succeed.
Okay, thank you.
You understand that?
Yes, I do. I do.
You know, he wants everyone to be successful. I don't mean materially, that's not what I'm talking about. But, having a good life was important to him.
Yes, I understand.
That's what I'm talking about. Not materialism, not at all.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I feel with your father that he was a man who would talk to you very quietly. He wouldn't, if he got something to say, he wasn't somebody who minced his words so much. But when he said something, you accepted it, because it took him a lot to say it in the first place. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
Does. And I know that I can see him with you. I can't see you, by the way, but I can see him with you. And I know that you would have sat next to your dad and he would have said, come on, talk to me about your day. Talk to me. What's bothering you?
Yes, I understand what you mean. Yes,
that's right. Because he's saying to you, I want you to know I'm very much a part of your life. Yes. I want you to know that even though my passing, even though it was expected, it wasn't expected at the time he passed.
No.
Everyone thought he was going to go on for a little bit longer,
Yes.
But he had enough. He says, I couldn't let my family see me like I was. I didn't like that. And he talks about the fact that his words to you are, I had a wonderful send-off. Now, they're not words I would use, actually. I don't use the word send-off, but that's what he's saying to you.
Yes. And
he's talking about 2 photographs that are framed. I'm not good at measurements, but they look something like 9 by 6. And they've both been blown up. Would you understand that?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
And they've been given to 4 members. There are 4 people in the family who've got copies of them.
Yes, there is, exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Because he's trying to show you that he's so pleased that you picked those pictures because he looks good.
He does. He does. He's right. Yeah.
Because he talks about the end of his life, which he doesn't want to go on about, but he talks about, I look very different to what I did at the end, and I want that image to stay with my family, that I look good.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. Right, that's fine. Because he's talking about, his relationship with you. And and I know that he's really good with everybody. I've said all that before. Yeah. But he's talking tonight about you and how special you are to him, because he would call you daddy's little girl.
Yeah.
And he's talking, I'm not saying that he would say that now, but that's what he used to call you. And he's talking about how you and he was so similar. You're so similar. He understood you like nobody else understood you. Now, please remember, he's telling me this, so you don't have to agree. Okay.
Yeah.
But he feels that. He feels that, if things weren't going well in the family, that he was the one that was very much the person who tried to sort things out, to keep everything calm, to put everything into perspective. Why he's saying that is because of what's going on at the moment in the family. There seems to be a sort of a disharmony going on. Would you understand that?
Yes, I do. I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is why he's here this evening, is because he wants to help you to find the right words for the individuals concerned. Because what he's saying is, this has nothing to do with you. Would you accept that?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Right. Because he's talking about other members of the family who've fallen out a bit. And he said, just give them time, but don't take on the stress yourself. He seems to feel that you should replace your dad. Your dad was very much the mediator of the family, and you feel you've got to step up to the plate. And he's saying to you, no, please don't think you've got to. Do what you want to do, of course, but don't feel you've got to. He feels it would be better perhaps to stay out.
Okay.
Give them some space. Let them sort it out.
Okay.
Okay. Because he talks about you having 3 sleepless nights.
Okay. Yeah.
Would you accept that?
Yes, yes, I would. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sorry, because okay, can mean you understand it, but maybe you don't accept it. That's why I'm being pedantic. I'm sorry, it's because I can't see you.
You're okay. Yeah.
Okay. But
Thank you.
because he's talking about, he doesn't want this issue to get to you. That's the point. And he
Okay.
talks about the fact that you must, I know not many of us are driving at the moment, but you must drive a car. Is that correct?
I do. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Because he talks about being in the car with you, and that's when you have what I call your thinking time.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
and your dad is next to you, and he seems to sort of be a little bit jokey about your driving, but you know, I'm not going to criticize that, but he's saying about because he was always critical of your driving, that's what he's telling me, you know. But he's also saying to you, I just want you to have some peace in your life. You deserve every happiness. Those are the words he's giving you. I know
Okay.
you have your dad's watch. Would you accept that?
Yes, you're 100% right.
Right, because he's talking about, and I feel I'm really sorry, I'm not good at metals, but it looks either silver or chrome or...
It's a chromey color, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
It could be another metal, but I wouldn't know it. Because he tells me that you've been holding it recently, just
I
a
have.
feeling. And he was with you when you did that. And he says that April the 21st is very meaningful for you.
Okay. I can't think at the minute. I can't think.
Oh, don't worry about it, please. But just file it away and just
Yes.
have a look in your diary. Okay. Please
Okay.
don't worry about it. Because he's talking about a birthday on that day. It's not just random. It's a birthday in the family. Okay.
Okay.
And I know that he wants to show you how much he's involved. Would you accept that you once had a sewing machine?
Yes.
Because he remembers you trying to make things on that sewing machine. I feel it's more like either baby clothes or doll's clothes. I can't work them out.
With my mom, I tried, yes. Not
Okay,
successfully.
because I know that those are the memories that he has.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, but he's got a great sense of humor because he's also talking about the mess that you got into with it as well. Okay, so but he's got a lovely sense of humor, your dad. But the one thing about him I can say, he's so easygoing and he has this wonderful feeling. He's not overly expressive. You didn't need to hear the words. You knew you were loved by your dad, you know. And I know that he wants to show you that he's still there for you every step of the way, that you are so important to him because you're so close. The two of you are so close. And he wants to show you that, you know, yeah, we're all going through a rough time at the moment. But when this is all over and things try and get back to some kind of normality, he's talking about the plans that you've made. If you remember in the beginning of this contact with your dad, I said that he loved making plans. And that's one of the reasons why he's here, is because he's supporting you in your plans, because he's talking about your work, especially, and plans with your work to change.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay. And he's here to support you with that. All right. So please take your dad's love. He's a lovely man. And thank you very much for working with me.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, let's see who else we have here. Okay, I'm aware of a lady who's joined us, and I believe she's mum, and she's not related to the last lady I was working with. But this is a lady who I feel was in her late 60s. That's the age she shows herself to me at. But she's very lively, very, very bubbly, great sense of humor, but had got a very sharp tongue. And I do not mean that in an unkind way. I know she was very direct. I don't think she was very hurtful, but she was very direct. And she left you in no doubt as to what she wanted or what she expected from people. There's no question. I feel with her that there's something wrong with her kidney. There was a problem with her kidneys. That doesn't mean that's the only reason why she passed. But I feel that it was, I do feel she had cancer and there was a remission. So she'd had it and got over it and then it came back again. Does anyone understand this, please?
You have one hand at the moment.
Great, okay. Thank you.
I'll
Can I
unmute.
just, can I hear the voice of the person, please?
Hello.
Oh, hello. That's better. Thank you. And you accept all the information so far?
Yeah,
Haven't
she
said a great
had
deal.
kidney failure.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
And would you understand that there was a remission, so she would have got better and then she went back in it again?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Because I feel that about her. But I do feel, and you would accept your mum's personality being very blunt, very direct with family, but not
Yes.
unkind. Not unkind.
No, not
you know?
unkind, no.
No.
Yeah.
But she wouldn't leave you in any doubt as to what she meant.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
point. Okay. But I do feel she is funny. She's so funny. I feel that she's good fun to be out with. You
Yes,
understand
she
that?
was. Yes,
She's a bit of the life and soul of the party, you know.
she was.
And I'm really sorry, but God help you if you went shopping with her, because I think she would have everybody in hysterics, you know.
She was,
Because-
yeah.
Because I know that she'd go into the departmental shops and try on silly hats and do
Yes.
poses just to make people laugh, you know.
Yeah.
And that was her nature. It was to bring people together. Would you understand that?
Yes, I do, yes.
Right. Because she talks about, again, her closeness with you. And she talks about how towards the end of her life, because of her, obviously her physical conditions, and I know there's more than one condition, by the way, and I do feel, before I go on to that there was a problem with her eyes. Would you accept that?
Yes, yes, there was,
Right.
yes, there was a problem with
Okay.
her eyes, yes.
Right. Okay. Because one eye is a different color to the other.
Yeah.
Okay. And as I look at your mum, I can see her holding your hand, and towards the end of her life, and it's really tight. Would you
Yes,
understand
it
that?
was. Yes, it was tight, yes.
And it was a grip, you know.
Yes, it was.
And it was like saying to you, I'm not going to let you go. You're not going to leave me, and I'm not going to leave you ever. And she's
No.
still saying the same thing. She says, she tells me that a young man spoke to you recently, and he told you that, you know, something to the effect that your mum wasn't going to be there in the spirit world or something. And she's
Yes.
angry about that. Would you understand that?
Yes, I can, yes.
Right. Okay. Because that's why she's stepped up tonight, because she wants to leave you in no doubt that she is very much an integral part of your life, and that you mean the world to her and other members of your family. But she wants to talk to you tonight because she talks about the fact that, you know, would you accept that your mum helped you when you were a little girl? Your mum helped you to ride your first bike.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's a memory she has, and I have to tell you, I didn't quite believe it when I first saw it, but because she's not good at it, is she?
No.
I think you could have learned better from somebody else, to be honest. But anyway,
Yes.
she was there. But that's the point. She wants to show you how close she is to you. And I know too that she had a collection of scarves.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
and she shows me this bureau, almost like a dressing table, and the second drawer down, as the long drawer, has got loads of scarves in it.
Yes, I've still got the scars, yeah.
Right, great, okay, because I know that they were not just useful, they were souvenirs as well.
Yes,
they were bought
yes.
for her from holidays and places that people would go and so on, you know. But she particularly likes silk in the summer and wool in the winter.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because your mum tells me that she actually had a problem with certain materials on her skin.
Yes.
Okay. And she wants to make you aware. I mean, she doesn't need that now, but she's talking about her memories, and her memories have always been precious to her. Would you understand that?
Yes,
And she
yes.
would have, and even from a child, you and your siblings, they would have made cards for her, and she would have kept them
Yes,
right up until
yes,
she
I've
passed.
still got them.
Yes,
I've still
she
got
was
them.
about to tell. Yes, she was about to tell me that. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, I will tell you that some of them were in the attic.
Yes,
And some of them were in a box at the bottom of this big box in the attic.
yes.
Right. Because she wants to show you that everything that a family did for her, it wasn't about buying a card. It was about making a card or writing in the card. it was the words. It was the words
Yes,
that
it was.
mattered to her.
Yes. Yes.
She chose her words. Do you know, it sounds odd, but your mum tells me that she actually liked poetry.
Yes, she did.
Oh, okay. I thought I was having to work for that. Okay. Because words meant a lot to her, and she liked to, I'm not talking about long poems, but she liked the short, sharp, meaningful bursts. That's what she's
Yes, she
talking
did,
about,
yes.
you know. And she talks about too, about a box that you have, a wooden box with a lot of her old, she says, junk jewelry in it.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
She says that the better stuff was put in a different place. Okay.
Yes.
But
Yes.
the beads and the fake pearls and the
Yeah.
rings and stuff, they're all screwed up in that, all together in a bunch in that box.
Yes. Yes.
And she says that you tried to separate everything, but you gave up. Okay.
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. She's not being critical, I promise you. She's just letting you know she was there. But she
Yes.
says to me that you recently, in the last 2 days, you've been looking out of your window and looking at the sky and saying to your mum, Mum, I hope you're there. I hope you're with me.
Yes.
Because she was. And she said, do you think I'd be anywhere else?
Yeah, no.
And that's your mum, isn't it? You know?
Yes.
Why would you not believe that? Because it's just beyond her. She would
Yeah.
never, and she's given me 2 names. I hope I don't normally get names, so I have to
Yeah.
repeat them when I get them. One is Mary,
Yes.
and one is Daphne.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I do believe there's been a concern with those 2 people.
Yes.
Okay. And she wants you to know that she's keeping her eye on both of them. All right. And
Okay.
their families, because it's to do
Yes.
with the family. It's not just to do with those 2 people I've just named. Okay.
Yeah.
But she wants to show you that she's very much involved in your life. And I love the fact that, you know, do you remember her many years ago, because we don't do this now, but sitting by an open coal fire and burning her legs?
Yes. Yes.
And she was the one in charge of the poker, she's telling
Yes,
me.
she was.
And
Yeah.
she's the one, and that's why she burnt her legs most of the time, because she got too close. But she's bringing in also a black and white cat. Would you understand that?
Yes.
From way back then. And it's a very fluffy cat. I'm sorry, I don't know makes of them, but breeds, but I know it's a big fluffy black and white cat. That's it. And she's just saying to you that, you know, those were some of the happiest times in her life at that period. Would you accept that?
Yes. Yes.
And she's showing you, this is bizarre, but she's showing you a hamper of food.
Yes. I can understand
That
the
makes
answer. Yes, it does. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because she's saying to you, this is something that she would have loved to have made up for you, you know?
Yes.
And because she loves things, you know, little bits and pieces and bringing things together. She wasn't one to spend a lot of money on just name products, as long as things look good, as long as they're presented well.
Yes, I can understand that.
Okay. She wants to show you, of course, how close she is to you. She talks to you about already put some plants in your garden. I'm not good at gardening. I'm sorry, that's the understatement of the year. But I know that they're bulbs, and I feel they're daffodils or tulips or something like that.
Daffodils mean a lot to me.
Yeah, okay. And she's showing me these spring flowers and saying, you put them in your garden all along the fence just for her, with her in mind. With her in mind, because you knew that she would love them, and she loves you for that. She also knows that towards the end of her life, you were the one that was there for her every step of the way. You went everywhere with her. You went to every doctor's appointment, hospital appointment.
Yes, I did.
You made sure that when she was in hospital, she had everything she needed. And you also fought for her dignity as well.
I sure did.
Okay. And she says to you how proud she is of you and how much she loves you for that, because a lot of people wouldn't have been as outspoken as you were, but you were cross.
Yeah.
But she's saying to you, I couldn't have wished for a better daughter. And you've just got to believe me, I don't say that at all to anybody. But
No.
she's saying that to you. I couldn't have wished for a better daughter. You are everything and more to me. And she says to me that you've been writing. I'm not talking about a book, and I'm not talking about letters, because nobody does that anymore.
No.
But I am talking about writing something that you feel about your own feelings on paper.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
And she wants you to know that she's so proud of you for doing that, because you surprised yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, because she talks about the words, and she says it was done with such meaning. And all she wants to show you is not just her words, not just the fact she's here, but she wants to get across to you her presence, because you miss your mum and she misses you in that physical way.
Yeah.
But you sometimes feel your hair touched at the back of your head.
Yes, I do. Yes.
And that is your mum.
Yeah.
And she says also, I'm sorry, you're going to have to work on this, I'm afraid, but she said 3 weeks ago you were aware of your electrics in your home and your TV was going off or blink. I don't know what that is, but
Yeah, my electric went off. Yes.
yeah. I feel that's your mum that did that to
Yeah.
get your attention.
Yeah.
Just because there was nothing wrong with your electrics, was there?
No.
No, it was your mum. So she's trying to show you that she's trying to put your mind at rest. She hasn't got an urgent message for you. It's not like telling you, oh, don't do this, don't do that, because she wouldn't. That's not your
No, she
mum.
wouldn't. No.
But she
No.
wants you to know she's there. That's all she
Yeah.
wants for you. Just for you to know that she's there, how much she cares for you, that you mean the world to her, because you were so loyal. Just so loyal. She knew that whatever went on in life, you would stand up for her as she would stand up for you.
Yes, that's true.
And would you also know of a German Shepherd or an Alsatian dog?
Yes, I do. Yes.
She's just
Yes.
brought that in for you as well. Okay.
Yes, that
Just
is.
to say, because I know that your mum was really happy with animals.
Yes.
She loved animals, and I know that she's showing you that she's back with the animals again. Okay, so, but I just want you to know that your mum is alive. She's well. She's healthy. She's got wonderful skin, by the way. Your mum, beautiful
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah.
And she just wants you to know, please don't worry. I'm not gone anywhere. I'm still there with you. But I don't have all the problems of the past that I've got. I've not got
No,
anything
that's
wrong
good.
with me.
No.
And that you
No.
need to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Please take her love. She's smashing. And thank you for working with me.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That was lovely. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I can see that Tony's with us now. So
Okay.
Continue or to bring him in between.
I can't hear you, but ask him what he would like to do. I don't mind which way. If you want me to carry on or he wants to come in.
Tony.
Hello everyone.
Oh, hi, Tony.
Nice to see you. I've
Hi.
been listening to you. You're quite brilliant, someone. I don't want to put you off your stroke, but either way, I'm happy to come in. It's up to you entirely.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you carry on, and then we'll do something together at the end. Okay.
Perfect. No problem.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you very much indeed. It's nice. Okie dokie. Good. Well, thank you everybody. So I was slightly delayed there. But I think I was in a few minutes into the demonstration. But it's an unusual way to demonstrate, I'm certainly unusual to me. But I'm an old hand because this is actually my second demonstration. Second dem online. Isn't it funny? All the dems we do. But anyway, sit back, relax. Someone's done a wonderful job there to work with spirit. So just hope I can keep up. Anyway,
I'll monitor the hands, Tony, as the recipients. I'll monitor that for you.
Smashing. Okie dokie. Thanks so much. Well, I try not to. Thank you, Stephen. Sorry. I try not to get any thoughts or feelings in my mind before I start. So as I slightly rock nervously, I've not got a thought in my head. So let me close my eyes desperately, keep out the way. And we simply say, friends from the other world, come gather close to us. Come, let us feel you here. Let us know you more. And as soon as I close my eyes, my room becomes full. So we can't put a foot wrong, can we? And I'd like to speak to somebody. Now, the information I had first was odd, but I feel that I want to speak to somebody who would recognize that they had 2 mums and more than that, 2 dads, which doesn't make a great deal of sense, does it? So there must be something in that. So I'm reaching out to somebody who understands on some level they had 2 mothers and 2 fathers. That
Got 2 people at the moment, Tony, with their hands up.
Well, do you know, I talked myself out of a good story there, Stephen.
3
So I'm
people.
surprised 2 people put their hands up. So well done. 2 mothers and 2 fathers, and I want to be clear here. I don't mean that you had grandparents that were like your parents, that kind of thing. It's like I've got 2 mums and 2 dads. That's my feeling. Now, as I hold on to that feeling, there does seem to be something that talks of another language spoken as well. So whoever knows the riddle of this story would also recognize where there was, on some level, another language to be spoken, whether that be French or something else, another language, not just the English language. How many have we left with now?
3 now. 2, Carolyn and someone, I'm sure. Oh no, we've got 1 lady. I'll unmute her.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you.
I'm struggling to pronounce her name. She'll have to tell you herself.
Okay, no worries. Hello there.
Hi, Fietje.
Hello, Feature. Nice to see you
Hi.
there, or hear you there. Thank you for raising your hand. And so the information I bring is simple at the moment, but on some level, do you pick up on 2 mums and 2 dads?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know there's another language spoken other than the English language?
Yes.
Okay. Should we work together and see what happens?
Yes. Okay.
Great. Thank you. So we sit back, relax. And as I'm working here, and do you also see both of these mothers are now in the spirit world?
Yes.
Okay. Because my communicators is this duality of mums. That's what I have here. And both of these ladies are in some ways vying for position, I think in a playful way, to see who can come and love you the most. Quite recently, I wonder whether you have had occasion to cry or to feel upset, maybe within the last, just a day, maybe in the last couple of days. Do you see that at all?
Yes.
And I feel they want you to know that each of these ladies, rather like the pillars of Hercules, stand either side of you, loving and supporting you. So ultimately you are held by the spirits, lifted and made right and made better. Quite recently, have you been going through lots of very old photographs?
Yes.
I mean, very old, almost not coloured, black and white or even brown and beige, that kind of, that sepia toned of photographs.
Yes.
And they've been watching you, you see, as you've been going through these very old photographs. And I wonder also whether either you've kept them rather more in an old brown, almost pre-war suitcase, or there's also an old brown suitcase to strike a memory. What do you think to that?
Yes.
And as you pour through our images, we all come, you see, we all come. So as you look at each of these photographs, it invokes the presence of these wonderful old aunts and uncles and grandparents, and everybody comes and stands in your space. And in addition, even the people who you truly have no idea who they are, they're invoked by you wondering about the image. That's important. Now, as a child, I wonder whether you lived on a farm or you have strong memories of big vistas and fields with a significant stream that ran through a field.
Yes, it's correct.
You're happy. And they show the image to me here as I'm speaking. And I see also like a little rope that you might use to jump from one side of a stream to another.
Yes.
And it feels like a happy memory, do you see? And the idea is when you feel sad, remember us and remember the happy memories that you had too. Now, this is interesting. Had your grandfather had a barn, had your grandfather kept a hayloft?
I don't know my grandfather, so I don't know.
No problem. I think that was quite marvelous, that bit. So I'm going to ask you to consider that, if you will, because I had these thoughts rather more like I felt like I was Heidi, but that's another story entirely. But I thought I was Heidi in a hayloft, and it should have invoked a memory of the grandfather and a mother. So I ask you to take that with a pinch of salt, if you will, to consider it. But it did feel real in my mind. Now, of late, would you also have been suffering with, I say a serious, but a troubling back condition or a spinal problem?
Yes.
And it's ever so interesting as I'm working, so I can feel energy being bathed around my back. But of course, it's not my back they're interested in. It's very much your back and your spine. And this is not predictive in any way, but I just know here that we hope that gets much better soon, for it's been almost like a 4-year journey of being increasingly more problematic. Do you see that at all?
Yes.
And of occasion, do you see that you've been either to your local doctors twice, 2 times because of this condition, or other medical professionals to find some kind of cure or remedy for this?
No, I can't recognize that. No.
Thank you for your honesty. I won't change my feeling. The feeling is of 2 times and going to see if this can be made better. So consider it again, if you will. But
I went to the doctor, but not for my back.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then let us say, thank you. But I want to say what I want to say, and that is by the power of spirit, they're hoping for something more marvelous to happen. So rest assured, and if you will. Now, I want to get around the group, but before I leave you here, if you consider one of your mothers and wonder if one of these ladies had ever been crowned a beauty queen or a princess at a fete or something like that. It could be quite local to when she was a young woman, whether she ever won the prize as the prettiest girl in the village. Is there something like that?
No, I can't remember. No.
Can't see that. No, you're being fabulous. I feel I've petered out before I thought I had done. So let me have my beauty queen back, if I may, because she could be a very interesting connection there after. We're not sure, but I will there, darling, with all truth, ask you to consider 2 mothers, 2 fathers who gather here as to love you. And again, as you look at our photographs, we come closer to you than you might realize at this point. And then I'll say, God bless. Thank you very much indeed for listening to me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, and a breath. Yeah, one done. Let me move forward. I have a gentleman here who gathers close, and I feel that he looks for his wife in our group. As this man comes closer to me, I feel tall. That's important. Tall and broad. And I know he had large, dry hands, you see. Now they say, man, and this is my boy. You better go and go. So ask mine to take. It's like one of those videos, isn't it, on the YouTube? Either way, but he does need to go to the wee, so this is the most important thing. But I have a man who is tall, he is broad, he looks for his wife. Now, he doesn't feel old, that's the other thing entirely. And I wonder whether this man might just be in his 60s when he eventually passes to the spirit world and wished he could have lived older and longer. That's important. As he brings me here, that thought and feeling, I feel there was a long drawn out feeling of passing over. And I wonder also whether he had required a great deal of care and assistance prior to passing that might have gone on for a year or so before he goes there to the spirit world. Oh, let me keep thinking. And I would suggest to whoever may understand this feeling that he's not long passed. So maybe he's passed within the last 18 months, 2 years. It's that kind of a feeling that he's passed to the spirit world. Just before I offer it out to the group, there's just another feeling, and I wonder whether he had some problem with his brain before he passes, some issue to his brain before he passes, and then I'll offer it out to the group. Does that make sense with anybody, do you think?
At the moment, no. Just waiting. We have no hands at the moment, Tony. Oh yes, we have a Lorna. Oh, two at the moment. Two, a Lorna and a Tony.
No problem at all. And whoever understands kind of what I'm saying here, would one of you there understand this to be a husband in his 60s, not long past? Are they both still in, do you think?
We've still got both Lorna and Tony.
Can we speak to Lorna to begin with, do you think?
Yes, I've unmuted Lorna.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, darling. Hello. And am I describing your own husband?
No, my first husband.
First husband as a feeling. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And would the same gentleman be in his 60s when he passes?
Yes.
And would he have had some issue with his brain before he passes?
Yes.
And would you also see that he's not long past to the spirit world, maybe within the last 18 months to 2 years?
Yes.
May I work with you, do you think? And are you a Lorna?
Yes.
Lorna, okay. Should we work together and see what happens?
I'd love to.
Very good. Okay. Very good. Very good. And so, gentleman here that passes to the spirit world, and it's a first husband feeling, you're saying?
He was my first husband. Yes.
First husband. Okay. I don't have a reference for first or second or third husbands. I'll have to work on that if I can. But I have a gentleman here that goes there and to the spirit world. The same gentleman would want to come through with all joyful lovingness. There's a big feeling of that. And I also get the sense of him coming through with huge amounts of support in this way to you and your family too. And to say, your family means everything to you. I think that's something we could all agree on, but you feel very family orientated. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Okay. And I know we're all locked down and all segregated at the moment, but it's hitting you incredibly hard at the moment, not being able to see all of your people. There's something in this. Now, as I'm working here, would you also recognize your own mothers in the spirit world too?
Yes.
And as I feel that the husband or the first husband has met your mother, do you see that in the spirit world? But would your first husband have passed first and then your mother pass second?
Opposite.
Opposite, okay. Then would you say there's not much between their two passings in time?
Well, not much. Like you said, 18 months to 2 years.
Okay, that's fine. But they feel almost there's not much in the way of time that separates their two passings. I'd ask you to consider that, and if you will. And would you also recognize your mother was a good age by the time she passes?
Yes.
I don't know what a good age really means. The older I get, I think a good age, it keeps extending itself somewhat. And so who knows? But she must have been at least in her 80s if she wasn't in her 90s. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let me keep going. And that's important too. And as she comes close to me, would you recall here whether she'd had any kind of a dementia or Alzheimer's before she passes?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
That's fine. That's fine. Because as she comes close here, she's very insistent to say something like, "Look at me now," and her mind is clear. Do you see that? Her mind is clear, and she's so excited that the fact that her mind is now crystal clear as before, and there's no hint of memory loss or this kind of thing. I don't want to go on about the past of her passing, it's not important, but I do feel that we as a family are still traumatized on some level because she needed other carers or nurses around her, because it was just too much for us as a family to cope with her on our own. What do you think to that?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
For me,
she's aware of
especially.
that, and she just doesn't want you to think twice about that. Do you see that? Don't think twice about that. I know it was too much for everybody, but you would have seen her every week without fail. Do you see that still?
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
I don't know why I get this in such a way, but it's like a mission to go see her. You know, I can imagine packing the car of all the things that you think she might need for the week and going down there for the day. That's the kind of feeling.
Absolutely.
You still see me. And she's thanking you also for bringing her favorite food. That was important because she was an excellent cook in her day. Do you see that still?
Yes.
Okay. And this may sound simple, but when you cook now, there's so many things you think, what would my mother do? And then a thought pops into your head, like she's recounting or remembering her recipes and implanting them in your thoughts. Do you see? So if anything, your cooking should get better, even more marvelous. You see. That's important to us. Loads of people here, lots and lots and lots of people coming close. The door is opened by the first husband, then the mother comes close, and in this way too. Oh, and then there's another feeling here in my mind as well, and I wonder. Would you know also of a lady who now passes to the spirit world, who had suffered with a degree of a depression or something like this before she passes?
Possibly.
Okay, and I have a feeling here of a lady who comes forward with that real strong sense of feeling sad, do you see? And then I also get a feeling here that she passes very suddenly when she goes to the spirit world, like she was here one moment, gone in the next. And I wonder whether she simply collapses one day and is past. And I wonder also whether she passes in her own home. Is there anything for you there at all?
Possibly a cousin of mine.
Okay, you'll consider that if you will, and potentially then if it's a cousin, then you'll keep considering this for me if you will. And again, as she comes close, this is just, I want to be clear, this is not an old lady that passes in my mind, so I want to make sure I'm still with you. And she makes you feel she's only in her 30s when she goes to the spirit world. She's still a young woman with all of her life ahead of her. That doesn't make sense, does it?
It's my niece.
Okay. And would she just be in her 30s when she passes?
Yes.
That's it. And this young, wonderful, vibrant woman, you see, comes close to me. And this idea that when she passes over and leaves this world behind her, she leaves so many question marks and if onlys and that kind of thing, you know, a riddle behind her. Which she does apologize for, but she doesn't want you to be sad. That's the truth of that. And now she's making real efforts to sing. So there you go. Don't make me sing because it'll be horrible. But she's making me real efforts to sing. And I wonder whether she had a nice singing voice in life. I wonder if she sang aloud with a degree of confidence in life. What do you think to that?
I don't know about the singing,
Okay.
but it's
Then
possible.
it's in my thoughts anyway. And when I wonder what on earth would she possibly be singing, and it's kind of like a bit of a reference, but it is that song, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. That's the song. So what do? So I just have to ask you to wonder, would that be okay? Of its relevance, and the feeling of the song comes as a gift. That's my feeling, and that's what I know at this time. Now, when I say to them, come, we've got to hurry up, got to hurry up, got to hurry up, there's all of these feelings in my mind. And I just wonder here that as they view your world and see your people, all you need to do at this point is, oh, I want to say again, get healthy. I think you've had a little worry in your health. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do I know? But there's a positivity that flows from me when I say that to you. So please be healthy and well and wise, and indulge the children of your family. That feels important, and all will be well, and all will be well. There's something like that. And I thought I was going to go. I'm so sorry. But just before I leave you there entirely, am I still with you? Would you recognize here a gentleman that would have very unfortunately taken his own life? Do you see that?
Yes.
Is that true, or kind of true?
No, it's true.
True. Okay, I like to test the trueness of things. But I have a gentleman here. And would you remember this man to be broad and heavily built, or strong built man?
I would say strong built, not very, very broad, but strong built. Yes.
Okay. It feels strong and broad and most capable here as he comes forward. And yet I want to say to you, a challenging man. Do you see? A challenging man. And I'm going to say this too. I think we would say here, you always had the measure of that man. You know, you were never kind of sure how to react around him, and kind of who he was. Do you see that? Have I lost you there? Does that make some sense to you?
No, yes. He had a secret existence.
Oh, very good.
Can you hear
That's
me?
quite exciting for the rest of us to know about, of course. But there is a real feeling here that you always thought I was a little bit, something like that, you see. And I think that he loses his life tragically, as I feel. But there is a feeling here of trust your instincts, for you kind of were right, you see. But I know he still comes close in a loving way, as to bring a joy to your world. And with that, I'll say God bless. Thank you very much indeed.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And can I do another one, Stephen, do you think?
Yeah, if you'd like to, yes, certainly.
Yeah, well, once you got going. I'm not taking Simon's time up, though, am I?
No, I'm thinking Simon will be very happy for you to continue. I've known Simon for many years.
Okay, no worries at all. Let me do another one. No problem at all. Let me wonder, let me consider, oh no, this is interesting. Now, it takes me a little while to get going, but once I'm off, I should be right. I've got just imagery now, like vistas and views in my mind, and they're showing me a sense of what looks like possibly a motorway, or a very busy road, the kind of road in which you might find big lorries or trucks, that kind of thing, depending on the country, of course. And I have a gentleman here that stops at the side of the road to maybe change a tire, maybe fix, look at his bonnet, something you might do at the side of a road. And that's where his life comes to an end. And I have a strong sense here that there's some dreadful accident here for this poor man, passing there to the spirit world. And it's simply one of those awful things where he was at the wrong place at the wrong time. His car was stationary. That's the feeling I have. That's something in that feeling.
You do have an Anne at the moment, and I also do understand this myself, I have to add, Tony.
Wow, weird is that? Okay, so between the two of you, let's see what's to do. And I don't feel that I'm so very young though when I pass to the spirit world, and so I don't. This man was in his 50s when he passes, or a mature man, you know.
Yes, I understand that, and Anne is still with us.
Still there, and as well. Okay. And Stephen, would you see your gentleman, you know, would be in his 50s?
I believe he was round about that age. Yes.
Okay, good. And can we bring Anne in just to check with Anne too, do you think?
I've
I can take that as well. I could take that as well. In his 50s.
And are you? And okay, that's fine. Stephen, should I try to work with Anne first and see, because otherwise they might think it's some kind of thing. So, but we'll just have a word with Anne first of all. So, Anne, I think I've got what you said. Would you say your gentleman was 50 or in his 50s?
It was a friend of mine.
Yes, good. And I wish I'd said that. He feels like a friend, so it's funny, isn't it? But either way, we'll keep going. And a man 50s 50, I think you said something like that.
It was no one young.
And did you pick up on this idea that he stopped at the and then his life came to an end?
Yes, it did.
And wrong place, wrong time. It's that kind of a feeling, do you see? I don't know if it's a flat tire or a breakdown of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Is that something truly true for you?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was stood at the side of the motorway.
Motorway. May I work with you, Anne, and see what happens? And I have a gentleman here. Motorway is exactly my feeling. By the car, and my life comes to an end. Did feel like a friend, and thank you for that. And he just comes in. I think he can't believe he's got through. That's the weirdest thing. So he's standing in my mind, waving, feeling very enthusiastic to have this opportunity to come forward, that you might tell the rest of the family and the friends that he's absolutely fine in the spirit world. Do you see?
Yeah.
That he's made it wonderfully well. He's at ease with himself, and
nice.
he's reunited with his family. That's
lovely.
important, isn't it? And that's important to me too. Now, do you see his wife is still alive here in the world?
Yeah, I think his wife's still alive.
Yes. It's just when I said to him, "Oh, maybe you're done. That'll do," and it's the feeling. No, he wants you to be sure that he's come. Although we, of course, to say hello to you, no question, but that you might tell his wife. Do you see?
Yeah.
That he's alive. Now, you'll have to be very careful about that, Anne. I've tried this game before, you know, and it's not always gone down as well as we think. So you'll have to gauge her response. But if at all possible, indicate to her that he's trying to come through as to make a loving gesture. And again, to say, all is well. All is well. Something like this. Now, hold on to me, won't you? Now, in the past, if I just go work with you for a moment, if we go back a number of generations in your own family, maybe your grandparents or something like this, had they been shopkeepers in your family?
Yes, they had. Yep.
Does that make some sense to you?
Yes.
So I'm just saying to them, for goodness sake, say something about Anne, just see. And I've just got this mental image in my mind of shopkeepers. That's it.
Yes.
And they feel to be as your grandparents and that generation. And it's again a sepia toned feeling of them waving all that. And I know in the spirit world, they've still got shops. Now, when they tell me that sort of thing, I never know how to work it, because they're allowed to have shops in the spirit world. We don't know. But that's my feeling. The shops meant so much to them in the course of their life that it wouldn't be like heaven without having something similar. Do you see that? In the other world, and especially because one of the ladies in this party, potentially they're your granny, was so nosy in life that she loved to hear the gossip. You see that as people coming to buy things from her.
Yeah, she did.
She was the world's worst kind of confidant, because she'd say, please don't tell anyone. But they were barely out the shop, you see, and she was sharing information up and down, and people got the measure of her. Do you see that in the end? And only told her what they really wanted to recognize, or that wasn't too confrontational or too revealing. Does that really make sense to you, Anne?
It does, yes, yeah.
Are you happy with me there? That's it. Now, traditionally, people might buy a sprig of heather from you know, somebody might sell the sprigs of heather as a good luck charm, that kind of
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
But I wonder, in your collection of bits and bobs, whether within there you still have a sprig of heather that was bought years ago and then just added to a box of old nonsense, you see, still in a space full of old ribbons and old coins and this kind of thing. Can you
Yeah.
refer to that at all? Does it make any sense?
Yes. Yeah.
But is it true though, Anne?
Oh, yes, definitely.
I surprise myself sometimes, so well done. But that's very good. But they're giving me this, what feels like quite crumbly old heather. You know, don't touch it too much or break
Yeah.
it. But the idea is it still adds to bring you good luck. That's the idea. So
That's good.
if you hold it and then infuse and ask them to come and almost top up the good luck feeling contained within this heather, then you might be able to hold it somewhere safe in your space and look to it on occasion and say, come on, help me out for goodness sakes. I think I need assistance at this time. Now, this is an obscure reference, but I'm still going to go there, Anne, with you. I don't know whether you've ever been a Cliff Richards fan.
Oh, God, I love Cliff Richards.
You really? I think
I
it's
do.
only you and my mum left. Either way, my mum's a Cliffy fan, but they're giving me this feeling of listening to Cliff Richards, something
Yep,
like this.
I
You
do.
see.
I love it.
So, but would you say you've been listening to Cliffy recently?
I have actually, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you'll upset your neighbours, Anne, so be careful with that. But there's a feeling here that when, I'm only joking, of course, but when you play Cliffy, when you play Cliff Richards, they just come in. Do you see that? They come in to enjoy you.
Definitely.
Do you see that all over again? And to love you. I know you've got a slight different accent from myself, but do you have any memories to do with Liverpool at all?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
But you don't have a Liverpudlian accent, do you?
I don't know. Definitely not.
No, that's fine. But I don't want to hear an accent and give it to you. But there is a feeling of take you to Liverpool or remind you of Liverpool.
Oh, yes. I went there with my husband. Yeah.
Okay, that's just fine. And I have strong memory, that's it, of remembering Liverpool. Like
It was, yeah,
or
definitely.
Liverpool at this time. And that's what I have here as in my mind. You know, stay with me, Anne, a bit longer. And would you know a gentleman now in the other world who was just 60, 61 when he passes to the spirit world?
Not sure about the age. Maybe a bit older than that.
I'm not sure. Would you know a gentleman by Reg who is now passed? I might have left you, Anne, you see.
I don't know. What was that name again?
Reginald.
No.
Not many of them around these days. Let me have my Reg back. Could I have it?
All right,
back?
okay. Yeah.
Just in case I've overextended there somewhat. So let me be very, very clear here. Now, and were you waiting for someone else to come through?
Yes, I was.
I failed you dismally, haven't I? Tell me their name.
Angus.
That's a good name, isn't it? My God. And just to ensure it's a human, you're not looking for somebody else, say it's a human.
Oh, no.
Okay, that's fine. The amount of times people give me a name and it's a Chihuahua, so I have to be careful these days. Angus, a good old name. I'm not sure if I can do it. We'll just say. Do you see that you were with Angus when he passes?
I wasn't, but my son was.
Just wait for me. Everyone else is listening, aren't they? Let me just get out of the way. Let me work more empathically and emotionally than try to build for some evidence. Would that be okay?
Yes.
Because my human mind's getting involved and I'll corrupt a good message. Obviously, you've asked for somebody by name, my man called Angus, so obviously you love him. That's easy peasy.
Yeah.
But the feeling I have over and around me when you offer that information is that he would really love you back. So let me at least say that to you. and that the plan was we were going to become incredibly old together.
It
I'm
was,
sorry
yeah.
if I spoilt the plan. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
it was, yeah.
He was also a highly intelligent man, do you see?
Very, yeah,
in
very.
life, and he had a mind for facts and figures. Do you see
Oh, he
that?
did, yeah,
And
definitely.
and I don't want to say, and you didn't, but I think you would feel humbled by his mind. Do you see?
Oh,
that?
yes, I was.
Like,
Very.
oh, he knows everything. You see. So, and then, with the greatest respect, Anne, if people were playing Trivial Pursuit, I think they'd ask for us last. Do you see that, you and me?
Yeah.
And yet they'd have him first on any team, because it was well known that he was like an encyclopedia of information. And
Yeah.
that's not changed. He finds that quite funny, possibly as he brushes his mind against mine and realizes there's not many facts and figures in there. But he was full of that in life. There's no
He
question.
was.
And a handsome man, certainly in his youth,
was.
handsome fella. And I don't say that, we're like a model. You know, if you looked at a photograph of him as a youngster, he was
Yeah,
a striking looking man. Do you
he
see
was.
that still?
Yeah.
And can I also say this to you, Anne? I know people are listening again, but when he came into your life, you felt like he rescued you.
Yeah, he did.
Do you see that? I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on around you at that time, but he comes into your world and suddenly your world's fine again. Do you see?
It was.
The world makes sense. He was your protector. He was your knight in shining armor. Can I say that to you? And you don't have to tell everyone your business. That's not what we're here for. But I would say to you here that when you meet him, that had to have been a particularly sad time for you in other ways, you see, in life.
Yeah, there was.
And then he comes along, and then there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
There was, yeah.
You see it. And that is important, because you always felt forever grateful for him lifting you up and rescuing you. There's that feeling.
It was.
Now, I don't. What do I know about this? I feel he wants to lift you up like a child. You see that?
Yeah,
in his arms.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And I feel he was that physically strong. Do you see
Yeah,
that?
he
could have
was.
lifted you up like a man mountain.
Yeah,
see?
he could.
And held you all the days of our lives. That's important. And when people tell you here that time's a great healer, and God willing it is, but I think at the moment it just feels to you that it's with time, the loss of him just seems to be getting worse, deeper, you see, than it was when we started. And so it is important you know he's about you, and that's real. Now, you still wear his ring. Do you still see that?
Yeah, I do.
She touches my wedding ring, and she still wears my ring. And the thought of somebody might say, you should take that off, I think you'd almost want to cry. Do you say?
No.
Because it's stuck on, you know, so that
it's stuck on. It would never come off.
That's it. And you should keep it. It's exactly what it is. And you should keep it on all the days of your life.
Yeah.
And still feel as though we are as twin souls and always together. Something
that's
like
lovely. That
as important. Now, were you very young when you met him?
I was, yeah, very young.
Yeah, I don't know if you were 16 when you met him. Do you see that?
I was, round up 16, yeah.
And I tell you why I think that's true, because there's an old song, isn't there? Like, she was only 16, but I loved her so. There's that song in my mind. So it's just a kid. Do you see? Just a kid.
Yeah.
And I feel that it goes on, you see. Because as I go on about that, I want to say to you that he'd always told you thereafter that for him it was love at first sight.
Yeah, it was.
And he would have said it to you, though. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Love at first sight. And that never diminished, and it's never ever changed.
No.
Now, we're in the month of May now, aren't we? Now, would you be celebrating a significant wedding anniversary?
Yeah, well, July's our anniversary. An anniversary is coming up on the 30th of May when I lost him. Yeah.
Don't let me have that, even though it sounds better. Don't let me have it, because he's definitely referring to a wedding anniversary. So I'm just wrong, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But I know that he's referring to the love of you and marking the wedding anniversary as special. That's
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
and that is important. And I just look, and I go on too much, I know, but he's giving you yellow roses.
Oh, yeah.
With meaning, do you see?
Yellow roses.
I know they come in other colours, but it's yellow roses seem
yellow.
to be important. Do you see it?
Yeah, definitely.
To be true. And I want to say to you that he will provide you with yellow roses for always, until he can hand them to you himself. Don't think for a moment he's going anywhere far. He waits for you patiently in the other world as most important too. And this is a crazy thing, because then he goes, I'm still wearing my aftershave.
Oh,
But,
God. I've still got it aftershave. And I'm still, but I don't know if he ever changed it much. It feels like the one. Do you see? Oh,
that?
yeah, you had a lovely aftershave. Yep.
The one. You know, I don't think he deviates from one to the other. When you squirt a little bit, you know, upon yourself or upon your wrist, and
Yeah,
smell him.
I did. I always
You
use
see?
his aftershave. Yeah.
And smell me, remember me. That's kind of the
Yeah, that's what I do.
At the moment. So it's already done, and I've got to go. I feel the pressure. I've got to shut up. But before I do, would you recognize here his favorite dinner was something like shepherd's pie or cottage pie?
Yeah, he loved shepherd's pie. Yep.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yeah.
And it just in my mind, he presents me with what either could be a cottage or a shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
I never know the difference. And the feeling of if only he could come back for a day. One of the things he would do, other than no doubt dance and sing, is to share a very easy shepherd's pie with you. Who needs the rest?
Definitely.
When we got home, we don't need all of that. He's a man of very simple pleasures.
He was, yeah, definitely.
Oh, now, could I quickly say this to you, and I will be quiet. Somebody here just suddenly took one of my toes off when I was working there. Would you know if somebody had a toe amputated?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Just their little pinky toe. Do you see that? Their little toe removed. Isn't that weird? I don't know who that was, but suddenly I looked at my foot and I thought I had 4 toes, but they can put that back. That's for sure. And we'll just have to include them in a way that's real and true. But know that his love for you is as powerful now than it ever was.
Yeah.
And thinks you're quite marvelous. And with that, Anne, I say God bless you, darling.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
God
you.
bless, darling.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much. I'm going to bring Simon back in now. I don't know if you had any thoughts or plans, Simon and Tony, to work together in any way.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Both unmuted.
Okay. How would you like to work, Tony?
I'd like just to listen to you, really, but otherwise we could do it together.
Can I just say that I believe we've been joined by a young girl, and I got a feeling this is going to be a difficult one to place, but I just have to do my job for her.
Yes,
and
of course, I'll follow you.
She passed at the age of about 15, and she was bullied at school, and she wants to talk to a friend here who was in the same school as her, who was a friend in her class. And this little girl tells me that she took her own life in her own bedroom with some antidepressants. And I feel that this was a little girl who just couldn't cope with life. She was just too sensitive for this world. And she's a tiny little thing with a little blonde ponytail, like almost fairy-like, but she was just too sensitive for this world. Is there anyone who understands that? I know it's difficult. I know it's a difficult contact, but I have to do my job by her.
At the moment, I have no hands. Oh, yes, we have a Betty.
Betty. Okay.
Betty, I'm going to unmute Betty.
Right. Okay. So, Betty, would you understand this little girl that you were at school with?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I can see you. I've got somebody I can see for a change. And would you also accept that she was a little bit sort of elfin-like, you know? And
Yes, she was.
and really not of this world. She was so sensitive and very, very creative. She was always drawing and colouring and that sort of thing, and always writing. And would you accept, Betty, that you and she had a lovely little relationship at that time, but it wasn't one of close friends because you did different classes?
That's right. That's correct.
Okay. Because you used to look out for her on occasions.
Yes.
And she's talking about, and I really do feel this is a long time ago, but she was being so badly bullied at school.
She was.
Okay. And I know that she tells me that after her passing, things changed at the school. And they actually brought more awareness of that subject. I know it's quite in the news now, but I don't feel it wasn't 20 years ago or 30 years ago, you know, it was, but somehow she changed the school. Would you understand that?
Yes, it was. Yes.
In the way that people started to take care of one another, look out for mental issues and, you know,
That's right.
mental health issues. Okay.
Yeah.
Because she tells me that you are doing something at the moment where you're trying to help people with mental health issues.
That's correct.
Okay. And she just wants to congratulate you. She feels overwhelmed with excitement because all those years ago, she made an impression on you and you made an impression on her. And obviously you've never forgotten her as she's never forgotten you. But the point of this is that she wants to encourage you with the work that you're doing in the name of spirit to help people with mental health issues. And you've been checking up on people, making sure they've got what they need and that kind of thing. Would that make sense to you?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I was approached only on the 1st of May.
Right.
Project.
Right. Well, there you go. And she just had to come through today to congratulate you and say, oh, and she still feels that little girl and she still feels excitable. She was so excitable. And she used to wear, when she was at school, even though I'm sure you had uniform, she used to wear some very strange clothes.
Yes.
She had her own fashion.
She certainly did.
And I know that I can see her with, I'm ever so sorry, I don't mean to be rude about her, but it was the fashion of her time. It was like, she's got these little legs and great big shoes.
Yes.
Big heavy shoes on the end of her feet, you know. And she's just adorable, absolutely adorable. She's just telling you that you try to help her so often. And there were 3 major occasions when you tried to help her at school.
Yes.
Right. And she will never, ever forget your kindness. And that's why she wanted to come through tonight to confirm for you, yes, we've got you where we want you. And she's very much a part of your team now because she wants to be involved with you, because obviously the experiences that she went through it stayed very close to your heart. And she's saying to you, you benefited from that experience in as much as you've got the gold medal of the Olympics now, because you're doing something positive from something very, very negative. Okay. But she wants you to know she's happy. And she had an unusual speaking voice. Would you accept that?
Yes, she did.
Very high pitched.
Yeah.
And very dry throat. I know that. Because I know that I can hear her talking to me, and it's like she can't say enough and she's jittery, if that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
And she just wanted to get across to you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Not just for what you've done for her, that goes without saying, but for what you plan on doing for the future, because she's behind you 100%.
Oh, lovely.
Please, please take her love. I can't emphasize enough. I know that when she was here, she used to wear a cross and chain. I don't feel she was religious.
No, she wasn't.
But she would wear a silver cross and chain.
Yes.
And I know that she was putting, not anything to do with the cross, but she's putting that round your neck because she wanted to give you something of hers.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And please take her love. And I'm sorry it was so difficult, but I have to do my job by her. But she's got such a beautiful soul. Beautiful.
She has.
Beautiful girl. Lovely girl. Okay. Always singing.
Yes.
To drive you nuts.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for working with me, Betty, and it's
Thank
lovely
you.
to see you rather than working blindfold. Okay. So has Tony gone?
No, I'm still here. That's fabulous. Well done.
Oh.
It's great. No, it was a
Okay.
wonderful link.
So should we do something between us, or are you
Yes.
happy?
Well, no,
what
I'm
would
very
you like
happy.
to do?
You go first or I go first?
All right,
Either
okay, I'll
way.
see what I can do. Okay, let's see who's here. I've got a lady here who tells me she was a grandmother on mother's side of the family, and she had 4 children, but she was a character, a real character. She was one of those people that people feared. She's got this amazing ability to upset everybody, upset every family and friend. And I do feel that she was an elderly lady when she passed. She looks well into her 80s to me. She's got beautiful, beautiful, for me, who wants it, silver hair, and a lovely complexion, which is a pale, pale pink. But that's where the softness ends. Everything else about her was tough and strong and very, very blunt. Does anybody understand this at all? Grandmother on mother's side of the family. I do feel who she wants to talk to, she would have been an influence very young. And I do feel she was part of your upbringing. So there was times when whoever she wants to go to would have stayed with her. Oh, now we got 4. Okay.
5.
A 5. Oh, grief. That's too vague. Okay, let me see 6. Okay. So the person I feel we were going to start with would know that the grandmother on mother's side of the family has got 4 children. And I feel also, oh, now we've gone up to 7. And also somebody who just seemed to upset everybody. But she lives to a good age with silver grey hair. And but I know with her that she loved to entertain. She would like to put on dinners for people and entertain. You know, I'm talking about beautiful chinaware, make sure the table looks perfect, that kind of thing. She wanted to impress. Anybody understand that?
There's still 6. Simone.
Yeah. Is there anyone who doesn't understand
Can I
all
come
of
in a
it?
little bit to add to your evidence, you think?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, good. I
Please.
certainly, when you were talking about this lady, you painted a wonderful picture of her. You can feel like she's in your room with you. But when I'm trying to link in with that, I was feeling a real sense of fish that came into my mind, you see. And I wonder whether she might go to the old-fashioned fishmongers because she knew them, the old-fashioned fishmongers because she got the best of fish. They put it away for her, and that was a real thing for this lady. And you mentioned about entertaining, but I got a real sense of maybe, I don't know if she's Jewish or not, but a Friday night dinner. You know, like you'd have the family over, they'd come once a week, and they'd come to your house. And it was the big affair. I totally and utterly get that. And maybe there's a Jewish feeling somewhere in that too, but that's kind of what I was picking up. But I've said that, now it's gone up to 8. Which is
Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can find something for her that's hopefully that places her. I feel that whoever she wants to talk to is a granddaughter who would have been like the spokesperson. So if anybody got to approach this grandmother, she would be the one that would got to face her head on. Sorry, but that's what she said. Oh, narrowing it down now, down to 5. Okay. I just see her at a get together, a dance or something, or a dinner. And people are the younger people in the family are saying, okay, well, it's your turn to spend 5 minutes with her. you know, it's that kind of bartering system.
We're on 4. Do you want to read the names to you, Simone? See if you...
Yeah, okay. I'll see what I can do.
Shannon, Annette, Sandra and Rebecca.
Sandra stands out to me.
Okay, I'm unmuting Sandra.
Okay. Okay.
Hi.
So, hi, Sandra. Do you accept all the information so far? So we've got a grandmother, mother's side of the family, who had 4 children, who is a strong, strong woman who would have caused a lot of trouble.
For some reason, she's muted again. Oh, you're unmuted now. You keep muting yourself. I'm just trying to unmute you, Sandra. And
okay.
So you're unmuted again now.
Okay. Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm fine. Thank you. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, that's Dip. See, my granny was a cook.
Right.
And we stay in an island, and she was into fish. We always had her fish, and we always.
But would you accept? Sorry, it's just got to be right for me that she had 4 children,
yes,
and that she was a woman who interfered in everybody's life. I'm sorry about that, but that's what she's telling me.
Yes, she was a very strong, opinionated lady.
And also, would you accept that you were the one that was almost like told by the others, go and talk to her?
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
You're the one that has to be the spokesperson for everybody almost, you know?
And she would listen to me.
Okay, but I also feel that with you, she would have had a very special relationship.
She did indeed.
She would have given you some money on the side, but not for everybody else.
Yes, I was her favourite.
I'm not talking about a lot of money. I'm talking about a few coins, okay? You know.
When she died, she left me her purse.
Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. Please don't tell me anything. Okay. All right. So I feel this is right. I feel that the connection is right with you. I have to say that. Okay. I don't feel she would be the first person you would think of to come through.
No, not at all. I was waiting for someone else.
But I know that she wants to talk to you because she was the one that wanted me to get her across in a way that's not making her to be something that she wasn't.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, because even though she recognizes wholeheartedly what person she was, she doesn't excuse herself.
No,
not even
never.
Now. She's not apologizing. I tell you that now.
I know that. I know she was a beautiful soul, but a very strong woman.
Yeah, but just to confirm with you that I feel with her that she, towards the end of her life, she had to sit and there was a lot of fluid retention. Would you understand that with her? Yes. With her feet and her ankles, that's what I'm seeing. Okay.
Yes.
And she did have a stick.
Yes.
Right, okay, then I know I am with you. Okay, Tony, if you'd like to come in. Sorry.
Thank you very much. And hi, Sandra.
Hi.
Nice to see you there. Do you have strong memories of her only ever wearing flat shoes?
Always. She had, like, she was quite a big woman. So she always had flat shoes. I never seen her with,
no problem at all. And that's the idea. I wouldn't be seen dead in anything like a kitten heel or anything like that.
Oh no,
only a flat heel. And do you also recognize that she had outlived her husband rather by some years?
Lots of years. He died many years ago, tragically.
And it was just this feeling of being without a husband, just say. And because she was, as someone's already rightly said, be without a husband, she then had to become involved with everybody else's world, if you like.
She had to, yes.
Because she was essentially quite a lonely person, even though she was this wonderfully robust person in everybody's lives and etc.
Yes.
Do you see that she was also a God-fearing woman too?
Oh yes, she was.
She gives me a religious feeling here about her, as though religion was important.
She was terrified even near the end of her life in case she wasn't good enough, you know,
It is a God-fearing feeling she's given me. It's weird. It's not something I would normally go for. But either way, she lived her life accordingly. But it's kind of lovely because I know she wants you to know that when she passed, her husband was there to meet her. And that feeling of softness comes back to her world. Oh, and can I also say, do you know if she'd kept her wedding veil all those years?
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that.
Then has there been some talk of a wedding veil or wedding dress in any other capacity or any other way in your world?
Just my daughter-in-law. I'm keeping her wedding dress, but that's about it.
And have you been discussing the wedding dress in the last little bit of now?
Yes, we have been actually, because she's just
I won't get
moved
overexcited about it, but I just know she's showing me the image of wedding and wedding veil. So I will just say it is something that she must be mindful of. And do you know the taste of the fisherman's friend? Yeah, they're quite disgusting.
Yes, I don't like them, but I do know that taste.
Yeah, but she's popping one in, you see, as I'm talking.
Yes, when she was in church. Yeah, she used to.
There's a feeling, isn't there? Nobody else would want one, would they?
No.
But I feel she's munching away on one of those as we're talking almost about her. And then just let me say one more thing before I let Simone come back in. I don't know if she was a midwife in life, but I do get to know that she was at every kind of new birth situation she could possibly get to, and was thoroughly involved or enjoyed the new birth scenario.
She loved babies.
Yeah,
absolutely loved children.
Yeah, I want you to say absolute, because it's a big feeling I have here of marching in my flat shoes to the nearest newborn. You see that getting super excited.
Well, she looked after all of us, growing up, and she loved babies. Absolutely loved.
Can I say she wouldn't have as many as 17 grandchildren, was she?
No.
Then will you add her children to her grandchildren and see if you meet anything of the 1 and 17? I ask you to ponder it. It means something, I think. Have a think. Okay, thank you very much.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, she's got she's got three grandchildren, and she's got 4 great grandchildren.
Oh, that's just like, I want 17. I want you to get another 10 out of that. So if you could add those up for me, I'd be much more impressed. But do it at your leisure. We'll assume it's not understood, but I think I'd ask you to consider that if you will.
No, I'll have to think on that one.
Please do. And Simone?
She was very spiritual.
Okay.
And so am I.
I just wanted to quickly say that she was showing me, it's a bit awkward, I'm not seeing anybody at the moment, but she was showing me a Christmas cracker. And I know that she would have saved the jokes in the crackers.
She did. She did. That was a thing that we did at Christmas.
And I mean, you don't expect,
traditional.
I just don't expect that from her personality, but she saved them all.
She did.
And she's just, her message to you is, Sandra, that she just wants to show you that she's still the same individual. She's still as passionate as she always was. Yeah. But she wants to try and lift you a little bit.
I know. Oh, yes, because it took me an hour to get through tonight, and I knew I was getting a message tonight.
Oh, okay.
But I thought it was off my father. You see.
Yeah. So, no, because she wanted just to lift you a bit and say, and just to give you that little bit of encouragement and hope, and say to you, things will get back all right. You'll be okay. That's really what she wants to do. She wants to reassure you, and she says that you've been anxious. I'm sorry, I don't wish to be too personal, but she's just telling you that she knows that you've been a little bit anxious. I'm sure half the world is at the moment, but.
Well, I'm a nurse, so
this isn't about half the world. This is about you, and she wants to say to you,
have been.
This is that she wants to help you to see that there is that light at the end of the tunnel, that they're very happy with you, those in the spirit world.
I know this.
They're just not happy about how you feel about things at the moment.
I
Okay.
know, I know.
And that's why she's here tonight, just
Oh,
to give you that
bless.
little bit of that tiny bit of encouragement and support, and just to show you that she's still that same woman, that still
Yes.
lovable lady who still
Yeah.
believes she has that special relationship with you, and that you
Yes.
are so important to her.
Oh, my
Please,
darling, that's
please,
lovely.
please take her, love. She's fabulous. I like
Oh,
her.
she is.
You
She
know,
is.
and
Beautiful
before
woman.
I leave you as well, and I want to just say to you that she's showing me a set of china that she would have put on the table.
Yes.
And it's a white background with some kind of pattern. It's not flowers, but a pattern on the china.
Okay.
In a dark pink.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Right.
That was one of her favourites.
Yes, that's why she's showing it to you. Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to leave you with that, just to say to you,
Okay,
you
love.
know, please take her, love. And you've
That's
been lovely to
lovely.
work with. And thank you for
Oh,
working with
thank
me.
you.
Okay.
Well, lovely. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Simone.
Okay,
Thank
you're very
you.
welcome.
Simone and Tony, thank you very much. I know you'd love to continue for another 2 hours. But however, unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop you now because our time is up. We've had at one point 665 people in the demonstration this evening. So for everyone who's been here and joined us, I thank you all. And on your behalf, again, I thank Simone and Tony and all your relatives that have joined us from the spirit world for this wonderful.
Thank you. And thank you all for coming online. It's been good. And it's good to see you, Stephen, and good to see Tony too. And good luck with whatever you've got going on at this madness at the moment. Stay safe, everybody, and speak to you again. Bye-bye.
I'd just like to remind everyone that the Spiritualist National Union is a charity. If you would like to help us with our work, I've just posted a link in the chat part where it takes you through to our website where you can make a donation should you choose to. And if you do, I thank you in advance. And all of our open access events are listed on the SNUI website. If Alva's just posted the link there, snui.org, go to the tuition page and you'll find that all the events are listed there. Our next one is a special healing service at 6:30 Friday evening, because this is Healing Awareness Week. Like no other time in our history, we need healing for everyone. Thank you all. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you. And thanks, Alf. I haven't seen you, but thank you.
Good
Bye
night,
for now.
everyone. Have a safe journey home.
Thanks.
I can't get out of the habit of saying that, Simone.
Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.